Hi everyone, welcome to our DigiTech Leaders Series. My name is Paul. Now today what I want to talk about is morale, so team morale. I want to ask you a question. So the question is fairly simple. Right now, if you look at your teams or your company, how would you score your company's morale? Okay, so score it out of 10. So 10 out of 10 is morale is super high, everything's good. Anything less than 10 is it needs improvement. Now, if it's anything less than 10, I suggest we, stay watching and hopefully I can talk you through, you know, something that is essentially and often overlooked, which is morale. And it's a really important aspect of any thriving SaaS or tech company. So today, let's explore, exactly what morale is, and more importantly, how do we measure it? Okay, so first and foremost, what is it? So essentially, morale is like the attitude and feeling towards many things. So feelings towards work, the company itself, co-workers, more importantly, customers. Okay. So if you've got a high morale within your business or your team, you've got high engagement, performance is obviously important, and that's really high. Productivity is good, teamwork, good communication, and more importantly, great profits. Okay. If morale's low, then you see a business which is very much fractured, teams are siloed, excuse me, and the overall work environment can be fairly toxic. Okay, so how do you measure morale? So there are several tools and methods out there. And ultimately, the key thing is that you are measuring morale and you do it consistently. Okay, and I'd also suggest you do it through a number of different methods. So I'm going to talk you through a couple of methods. So the first one is obviously surveys. So make sure those surveys are anonymous. Okay. And in there, you're really trying to gauge, what people's thoughts are on things like management style, things like company culture, communication, compensation, and the overall work environment. The second thing that we could be looking at is just how you observe your team, how you observe people. So you're looking for things like any changes. Okay, so is there any changes in the way that people are communicating, body language, social cues? And I think this is perhaps what I see is that you is much more difficult to measure morale if you are a remote first or a hybrid based SaaS company. Okay, so for those, if you're part of if your company is hybrid or remote first, then you have to go the extra mile to make sure you're measuring it and standing on top of it. Okay. The other thing is, and it's an age-old proven method, is a good old-fashioned one-to-one. So having regular one-to-ones with your team is an opportunity for you to get some insight on, their motivations. What is their intrinsic motivators? How have they perhaps changed? Their aspirations and their why are they doing their job, what does it mean to them, and ultimately learning about those things will give you much more and give you a much more better advantage to perhaps correct anything that might perhaps be going the wrong way. You can also try and get an understanding of suggestions. How would your team or your colleagues, how would they what suggestions would they come up with to improve morale? Okay. And then obviously the last one is attrition. So if you are noticing that the business is losing people are leaving, hopefully you are doing exit interviews. But if you can understand perhaps what the cause of attrition is, then ultimately you can then understand if it is because of low morale. So essentially, measuring morale and addressing its causes is going to really help your business to increase revenues and ultimately grow. Hopefully that's been of use. I'll look forward to you in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.